You took one look at Michael and you lost it.
I wasn't just talking about what happened when we were in there.
Well, then what? I mean, when were you talking about?
Morning of the wedding. Suppose you're wondering why my father didn't show up immediately when you needed help with him.
Joe explained all of that.
Then he told you that I was the one that stopped him from coming.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. We got the message. I just thought it was a crank call. I just couldn't believe that we should take it seriously. It was too crazy.
It's over and done with. It's okay.
It's not okay. It's not. Any message that comes from you, whether it's a note in a bottle or a smoke signal or Morse code, is important to me. I should have checked it out, and I didn't.
Well, I mean, why would you? I mean, I'm sure the message sounded ridiculous.
I have a lot of faith in you. I should always have the doubt. I know that you would never do anything without a damn good reason.
Really? Ease up on yourself. Ted, naturally you ignored the message. I mean, how were you supposed to know that you had a clone in the hospital that somebody looked just like you? I would have done the same thing, only I happened to have spent a day and a half with him, and I thought...
He was me. And you saved his life.
Yeah.
Yeah, well...
Call me Florence Nightingale.
Listen, it's nice to know that if I showed up and passed out on your doorstep that you wouldn't just throw me out in the rain.
No, I don't let people die. Not even you.
So, you just picked this Michael Williams up, got him to the hospital, and everything turned out okay?
Yeah. Yeah, everything turned out fine.
And even though I nixed your message, I didn't cause any tragedies?
Well, no tragedies.
Honest?
Honest. I wouldn't have wanted that.
So, do you think we can really hone in on just who that is in there?
Yes, I'm sure of it.
I mean, I already know what Palmer managed to dredge up. Did anything else come in?
Well, not from Palmer's people, but yeah, there was something.
He's Ray Gardner's son, isn't he?
Why don't you just...
No, just tell me. I mean, I can take it. That man is my half-brother. Somehow, he's got to be.
I know what you're thinking. Opal thought the same thing when she first saw him.
Obviously, she's right.
Tad, just listen, all right? I've been able to talk to him quite a bit. And I found out some things that Uncle Palmer's people could not find out. Edmund and I have been doing some talking, putting some pieces together. And we think we have a theory.
Dixie's probably telling Tad right now, so there's no reason I shouldn't tell you. We haven't said anything to Michael.
Tell me.
Look, you can see for yourself how shut off he is. There has to be a reason for that. Edmund and I think we know what that is. He doesn't remember anything that happened before he was 10 years old. And he didn't speak for 2 years before that, when he was found. Something must have happened to him, something traumatic when he was about 8 years old.
8? Like what?
Like... he was found on the west coast of Canada in a very remote place.
Go on.
I'm just trying to lay all of this out for you.
No, what you're trying to do is break it to me gently, and I don't need that. Please, just tell me.
Brace yourself.
Tell me.
I think Michael Williams is the real Ted Orsini.
You're joking.
I'd never joke about something as serious as this.
Come on, Dixie, think about it. What are the odds of the real Ted Orsini showing up all of a sudden in the middle of Pine Valley?
It's not a coincidence. He came here to see you. I found a copy of the Intruder article in his pocket, the one with the big picture of you.
So what does that prove?
He told me that he thought you could tell him who he was.
How? How could I possibly tell him who he is? Besides, we don't even know that the real Ted Orsini is still alive.
All the pieces fit.
We don't have any pieces. All we've got is that man's face and a life story which is filled with a bunch of holes.
Nola Orsini lost an 8-year-old boy. Gus Williams found an 8-year-old boy.
Sure, who couldn't talk.
Right.
How would he know he was 8 years old?
I can tell an 8-year-old about 2 blocks away.
God forgive me for saying this, but how many 8-year-old boys do you think disappear in 1 year?
Ted Orsini grew up in Northern California, right? Gus Williams found this little boy in Western Canada in the woods, alone, too traumatized to speak. He still has nightmares about that, being alone, nightmares that sound an awful lot like yours.
So what? So he went through hell. That doesn't prove
In the dream, he's hiding from somebody.
He said that?
Yes. He said, if you move, they'll see you.
Who's they?
They are probably the people who pulled him off his bike. Who locked him up. He's terrified of being confined. He can't stand. He went crazy when they put him in restraints. He can't even stand the sight of a closed door.
So that proves he has problems.
He has problems because somebody pulled him off his bike when he was a little kid and locked him up.
Or it's a chemical imbalance. The man could be desperate for lithium. We don't know. That doesn't mean anything.
When I showed him a picture of Junior on his new bike, you should have seen his reaction. He said, "You can't outrun a car on your bike." He said that. He said, "Don't let Junior go too far from home. It's not safe for children." He said that.
This is all very interesting, but it still doesn't spell Ted Orsini. I'm sorry, Dixie. It's just too big a leap.
Not for Nola. She saw that face. She
Nola
knew.
was wrong.
She was not wrong. What if she wasn't wrong? She knew that face. The face of her son. You have Ted Orsini's face.
After all this time, it's
Come on,
just
come on.
not
Let's
possible.
think about it. Nola spent time thinking about what her boy would grow up to look like. She memorized that face in her heart. She knew every detail, every contour.
You're telling me after 20 years that a
Now,
woman
think about it. Think about what if I had lost Junior? Would I forget his face? If you lost Jamie, would you forget your son's face? No. You would stay up night after night thinking about it every night. What he would grow up like. What he would be like when he was a man. You love your son's face. Nola loved her son's face. She loved the ears and the nose and the chin and the sparkle in his eyes. And one day, when he was 8 years old, somebody pulled that little kid off his bike and nobody ever saw him again until now. Maybe she wasn't so far off. Maybe it wasn't just wishful thinking. Because you don't just look like her son. Dad, you are the mirror image of him. Thinking.
That is a miracle I didn't wear a hole through this floor, pacing up and down. Waiting for my 10 minutes an hour with Nola.
Yeah, I know.
5 months later, part of me still half expects some nurse to come walking out and tell me it's okay, I can see her, your mother's waiting. Your mother's waiting. She thought the waiting was over, Dix. She thought that she finally got her little boy back. You know something? After I figured out who I was, I always felt like somehow I cheated her.
You didn't. You gave her so much. You gave her love. You gave her hope.
Everything but what she wanted most. I was just beginning to make peace with that. Now I don't know. She waited her whole life to get her son back. She searched, she suffered, and she prayed. And prayed and prayed. And now, Maybe he's here. Can't tell her.
I know.
I would have done anything. Anything. To bring him back to her.
Are you all right?
I don't know. The guy in 402, Dixie,
I
thinks
know.
that
Edmund told me. I can't quite take it all in. The more you think about it, the more sense it makes. Where are you going?
to talk to her.
Oh, well, all right, but he doesn't know any of this. So if you talk to him, if you tell him, please, just, please go easy.
Absolutely.
I should go with you. He didn't exactly take to you the first time.
Dixie, the first time I had no idea who I might be dealing with. Thanks, but I've got to do this alone. After all, it's the way Nola would want it. This is going to take a while. You're probably exhausted. Perhaps you should go back to the house.
I'll stay. As long as it takes. Well, I have quite a bit of work to do, so I really should go.